This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, law enforcement raided a home in the city of Hazleton this morning. We have the details next. Welcome to FYI for Friday. Thanks for spending some time with us. I'm Ken Kara, and here's Friday's headlines from FYI News 13 and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. Hazleton police, assisted by the U.S. Marshals Service and law enforcement agencies from New York, were out in force this morning on the city's south side. This was the scene around 10:30 this morning in the area of East Buttonwood and South Wyoming streets. According to Hazleton police, 42-year-old Ofre Ortega Beato from the Dominican Republic was taken into custody by U.S. Marshals on a warrant. Meanwhile, a man who lived in a different residence in the same row home says his home was raided by mistake.
They come into the wrong apartment. I'm telling too many times they got the wrong apartment.
What happened in the beginning? What happened? Give me play-by-play.
They come in here and they try to break the door. I tell it, I know the lady for a long time. You had the wrong apartment. So they don't listen to me. And look how my house. They break everything.
What do they break?
They break the front door, rear door. Look at this. I'm up there. They break everything.
Mr. Gomez says that officials did give him a claims form to report the damage. Officials in Freeland are hoping that their frozen pipe problems are over. This was the scene in the borough earlier this week when the mayor declared a state of emergency after 64 homes were without water thanks to frozen underground lateral pipes leading into those homes. Mayor Ed Appleman tells FYI that the situation is close to being fully resolved, and he was hoping that the emergency declaration could be lifted today. For any breaking news on the matter, go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/FYI News 13, or our media partner, their website, standardspeaker.com. The Hazleton Area School Board voted last night to borrow money to help complete renovations to the former Bishop Hafey High School, now known as the Maple Manor Elementary Middle School. District Business Manager Tony Reba explained that two actions were taken by the board.
One was to do a bond issue to borrow money to finish off our Maple Manor project, which was the former Hafey building. About $5 million we need to finish off that project, and then we're going to do some additional capital projects in the district. So at this point, we don't know exactly what the number is. We're looking between $7 and $8 million to borrow for that. There was a second motion to actually refund our 2010 bonds. Interest rates have stayed down, and we're looking at about $500,000 in savings to refund those 2010 series bonds.
While the board authorized borrowing up to $10 million, Reba says the actual amount may be between $8 and $9 million. Applause rang out at last night's school board meeting as the district presented a check to a little girl who survived a life-threatening disease. Superintendent Dr. Francis X. Antonelli welcomed little Aubriella Marsicano and her family to the podium for a special presentation.
Aubriella was afflicted with a rare and life-threatening form of meningitis that required obviously significant medical treatment and expenses. And I'm here to tell you that Bob Mahalik and Steve Hahn stepped up in a noble fashion and organized a benefit concert for Aubriella. And through the efforts of Liam Liss, a tremendous young performer, the folks at Lehigh and Kia, Janine Lasant at Channel 13, and Mrs. Podlesny and her wonderful teachers and support staff at West Hazleton Elementary Middle School, this benefit concert was a huge success, and in fact raised almost $5,000 to help the family with their medical expenses.
We raised nearly $5,000. The girl is looking wonderful. Again, we heard tonight the prognosis for her. Full recovery is wonderful as well. So just an incredible effort. And again, we thank the community, our media friends who are just so good and dedicated to this district for coming through. It was a very short amount of time that we had. And because of the efforts, again, of SSPTV and the Standard Speaker, especially you two, we were able to get the word out and sell over 600 tickets for the event.
SSPTV was proud to promote the concert for Aubriella Marsicano, and we are glad to see that she is doing well. One Hazelton church is serving a free lunch this Sunday. Community Bible Fellowship is inviting the public for an afternoon of good food and fellowship.
We're going to be having a fish sticks, pierogies, mixed vegetables, and always something sweet. So come out and fellowship with us, please. Anybody, tell a friend, tell a neighbor. I mean, come on out. We always have good food. Everybody likes it, and they always, have a good time.
The free luncheon is Sunday from noon until 2 p.m. or until the food runs out at Community Bible Fellowship on the corner of James and Spruce Streets in Hazelton near A&A Auto Sales and across from Subs and Suds. It is eat-in only. For more information, call 570-436-2061. Tomorrow marks the 37th Annual American Cancer Society Telethon. Sponsored by the Greater Hazelton unit of ACS, the 12-hour-long event will be held at the Laurel Mall. The telethon will feature great entertainment, a health fair, a huge bake sale, educational information, and more. The telethon starts at 11 a.m. and runs until 11 p.m. You can donate in person or you can call 570-459-1212. Right now at this 5 o'clock hour, there's a spaghetti dinner happening for a Hazelton firefighter battling cancer. That is down at Sand Springs. That is for John Edstrom. So if you have a chance this evening, go out and support the cause. Coming up next on FYI, we have your weekend weather forecast, and we'll take a trip to the Hazelton Animal Shelter for this week's installment of Adopt Me. Later in sports, we'll talk with another Hazelton area athlete who will continue their career in college. Plus, we'll get you ready for district championship basketball this weekend.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazelton Standard Speaker.
We're celebrating at Sand Springs in Celebrations. It is the hottest spot to have your wedding. And each Friday we're telling you about some testimonials, people that had their weddings here and were very happy. So we're pleased to be back here at Sand Springs with Diane and Dale Kivler. And they are going to tell us about their experience, because I believe you got married in May of 2014, right?
That's correct, yes.
All right, so the day of your wedding, May is always one of those months we don't know if it's going to rain, we don't know if the sun's going to be out, but unfortunately for you, we had some rain here, right?
Yes, I was watching it like a hawk all week, of course, and it was 52% all week. And when we got here, it started to cloud up on us. So I was upstairs with my bridal party getting ready, and I was already in my dress, and I was adamant on having it off at 3:30.
Okay.
And Stacy came upstairs and she's like, unfortunately, it's starting to rain. Now, of course, in my head as a bride, I want my ceremony outside because the patio out there is gorgeous.
Right.
Everything's all set up. And I'm going, okay. And she said that she already spoke to Dale, and Dale said, whatever I want.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course he said whatever you want.
So, of course, I didn't want to cry. So I'm like, well, just bring it in. Just bring it in. I didn't want to wait. She's like, okay, just give me 10 minutes. So she set up with the staff, which is wonderful. And then she came back upstairs 10 minutes later and said, it stopped raining. And she goes, we could set up outside, is not a problem whatsoever. And I looked at her, I'm like, I'm so sorry. She goes, just give me 10 minutes and it'll be perfect.
I love it.
And then when I was walking down the aisle, it started to rain, but you can't even tell from our pictures or anything, so.
They say it's good luck if it rains on your wedding.
Yes, and we came back actually back inside for pictures in the ballroom. It was great. We did pictures by the fireplace behind us and everything, and the sun started shining, so we were able to go back on the golf course and get some pictures, and then it downpoured for dinner.
So what is your recommendation as far as someone out there was in your spot last year and was planning their wedding and looking for a venue?
Right, actually we got engaged in 2012, and I was adamant on a hotel wedding.
Oh, okay.
Because we have a lot of family out of town and a lot of friends out of town, and I just want to give them the convenience of the hotel.
Right.
They could just go right back upstairs. But Dale found it here. As soon as I saw the pictures, I fell in love. I said, this is it. And the ballroom wasn't here yet.
Okay.
So all we saw were blueprints.
Wow.
So we booked it 7 days after we got engaged, and it was the best decision we ever made.
Again, each Friday we're talking with brides and grooms who have their weddings here at Celebrations at Sand Springs.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
From the warm confines of Sand Springs to this, much respect to the men and women who have to work in the elements during this winter. It's going to be nice a little bit later this weekend. We'll check that out now with our forecast. Tonight, though, mostly clear. It's cold with a low around -3 with the wind chill. Will feel like -15. It'll be sunny on Saturday on our extended forecast with a high near 19 degrees. At night, it'll be mostly clear, low around 10. On Sunday, there is a chance of snow after 1 p.m., but we're getting up to 28 degrees. Sunday night, snow likely, low around 25. Monday, mostly cloudy. We get above freezing, high near 33. Monday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 15. On Tuesday, 50% chance of snow, high of 33. Tuesday night, snow is likely, maybe even some freezing rain mixed in with a low around 31. Weather on FYI is brought to you by the Ramada on Church Street in Hazleton. Monthly rooms are available with free Wi-Fi and a continental breakfast. Banquet space is available for any type of gathering, including weddings, meetings, reunions, Sweet 16 parties, and more. You can call the Ramada at 570-455-2061.
Again, and here I have with me a large Doberman mix here by the name of Dinky. Dinky's approximately 2 years old. He's very friendly and loves people. He must have been very well taken care of, although he came into us as a stray because he came in already neutered, and he knows some simple commands such as sit and give paw. As you can see, he's very friendly and incredibly affectionate. Dinky here is good on all of his vaccines, including his rabies shot, and he has been tested for heartworm and Lyme and came up negative. We're not sure what Dinky's like with other dogs, but we always recommend that our adopters bring their own down to see how they'll get along with who they want to take home. For Dinky, we recommend anybody who loves dogs, but especially because of his size, anybody who has experience as a dog owner in the past. That's it for this week's dog. Let's have a look at our cats. And here I have with me a cat appropriately named Handsome. Handsome here is a young adult black and white domestic medium hair. Being a domestic medium hair, he's pretty sleek and smooth on most of his body, but on his tail and around his mane, he's pretty fluffy and fuzzy, so he might need a little bit of brushing occasionally. Handsome here is already neutered, up to date on all of his shots, and tested negative for feline leukemia as well as FIV. We're not sure what he's like with other cats, but he's very friendly and affectionate with people. He's more affectionate than playful, actually. In fact, he's almost a little bit timid at times. But as soon as he warms up to you, he doesn't want to get down out of your arms. Given his coat, we'd recommend Handsome here for anybody that's had a cat before that may have needed a little bit of grooming and brushing occasionally, as we don't want his coat to get all full of tufts. So if anybody's interested in Dinky or Handsome here, or any of the other pets we have up for adoption, please come on down to 101 North Poplar Street here at the Hazleton Animal Shelter.
You just met the cat Handsome. FYI, the name Kenneth means handsome. At least that's what my mom told me, and I believe that is what it means. If you're still watching, here's your green screen Pennsylvania midday lottery numbers. Pick 2, 1, 9. Pick 3, 7, 4, 8. Pick 4, 5, 5, 3, 0. Pick 5, 4, 8, 0, 2, 5. We have sports next on FYI.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
Before we start, I have to make a correction. 5-yard penalty, false start on me. On Monday, I gave the results for the District 11 swimming meet, but the meet is actually this weekend. No, I can't predict the future, but I did give you the seating information, so I hope that helps. We'll have actual results on Monday. Here's what else is going on this weekend. Tonight, the MMI boys go for the District 2 Single A Championship in basketball against Old Forge. The Preppers have scored 112 points in their first 2 games of the playoffs. The Hazleton area girls, they tip off at 8 p.m. against Pittston area on Friday. It's the 3rd meeting between the teams. They split the season series. The North Schuylkill girls, they face off against Minersville tonight for the District 11 AA Championship. Tamaqua, they play Salisbury in the District 11 AAA consolation game. That's at Bethlehem Freedom High School. On Saturday in District 11 Single A Girls Championship, Shenandoah, they'll play Williams Valley. This game is at Martz Hall at 1 p.m. After that game, The Monomoy area boys are in the District 11 AA Championship, and that game is against Minersville, also at Martz Hall. Up north at 2 p.m. at Lackawanna College, the Hazleton area boys play for the District 2 Quad A title against Abington Heights. There's also district swimming and diving plus wrestling regionals going on this weekend. We'll fill you in on what happens on Monday. Well, it's an All-Valley Anthracite League final as Valley Elementary Middle School will take on Drums in the Junior High Anthracite League Girls Basketball Championship on Monday at the Hazleton Area High School. Dave Seaman previewed the matchups for both Hazleton area basketball teams earlier this week during my Dave Day interview with him. Dave, what do you know about Abington Heights coming into this?
That they have a strong tradition. They're the defending District 2 3A champions. Lost some players from that team, but Coach Ken Bianchi up there has had a program that's one of the best in northeastern Pennsylvania, year in, year out. They're going to play a tough matchup zone. They have some size, very efficient. They only have a handful of losses this season. 2 of those are to Scranton Prep, one of the top-ranked 3A teams in all of Pennsylvania. Another loss they had was to Methacton, I believe, by 1 point. A team from suburban Philadelphia who was one of the top teams in District 1, or was one of the top teams in District 1. So the Comets will be ready to go for the Cougars. That's going to be a tough challenge for the Cougars, but the Cougars have nothing to lose. They're defending champions, and they're playing for something now, and I'm sure they're going to be ready to play.
Of course, the Hazleton area girls will play on Friday night. Has it been Steve Stallone who's been following them?
Yeah, Steve Stallone has been doing a fabulous job covering the Lady Cougars. Coach Gavio has done a fantastic job this year, molding that group of players. A lot of experience on that team, but some newcomers that have helped out. Michaela Brody and Kendra File stepped right in there to mesh up with the Mackenzie Uries and the Lexi Wilkes and the Bree Woznicki's. So the Cougars have it going, but they're playing a team in Pittston area that they've met twice before. Teams won on each other's court, so this is the rubber game, so to speak, for the championship, and only the winner moves on to the state playoffs. So it should be an exciting night for the girls.
Make sure you follow Dave Seaman on Twitter for updates from the Hazleton area boys game on Saturday and the Standard Speaker on Twitter for other sports updates. Finally, another Cougar baseball player has our national pastime in his collegiate future. Second baseman Seth Porpiglia is going to King's College, and he's going to let us know why he picked that school right now.
Mostly the players are all nice, the coaches are all nice. They have a great program up there. I watch them. They seem like they know what they're doing.
You're feeling you'll stay in infield? I mean, do they like you there at second base? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to stay in infield.
This is just awesome. I've, like I said, I've seen Seth play since he's 7 years old, and been a key member of our program the last 3 years. Certainly had a real good year last year for us, so looking for some big things with him this year. You know, he's one of many from this senior class that are signing and going off to play ball in college, and you know, it's a success to our program and to the hard work that Seth and the rest of the guys in this class have put into their games.
Porpiglia says he wants to study biology at King's. Well, I'll be studying basketball all weekend. Join me on Monday for highlights and reaction from some of this weekend's championship games. Ron Marchetti is holding a toilet and a basketball. Let's find out why. Here's Short Shots.
Final Friday in February is almost over. Happy birthday to my youngest daughter, Terry Smith. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Short Shots. Let's review. Last Friday, the Lady Cougars advanced with a W over Wyoming Valley West 53-40 at Wyoming Area High School in Exeter. Lexi Wolk and Mackenzie Urie had 15 apiece. Gavio's gals are 20-3. They play tonight. The MMI boys outlasted Class A District 2 top-seeded Forest City 52-35 at North Pocono High School. Corey Rogers led the way with 23 and Ed Herbner had 14. Flanagan's Fearnaughts are 11-13. They also play tonight. The Marion Phillies didn't fare out as well. Their season ended in Pottsville after losing to Minersville 55-37. Albie Wilden finished her high school career with a game-high 18 points. Brewers Brigade ended its campaign at 17-8. Hazelton area's boys edged Williamsport 57-56 at Berwick on Sunday in the District 2 semifinal. The Millionaires scored 9 more field goals than Hazelton, but the Cougars outscored the Billies 22-2 from the charity stripe. 22 for 25 is great shooting in any league. Bobby Planutis led the way with 21 counters, 10 for 10 from the foul line. And Mike Makuta was also marvelous with 15. Joseph's Jammers are 20-5 and will play for the district title tomorrow against Abington Heights at Lackawanna College at 2 p.m. Mother of God, District 2 simply stinks. I really do miss District 11. On Wednesday night in Orisburg, the Marion boys almost pulled it off. They took 19-5 Monterey into overtime before losing a real thriller. The Colts finished their season at 11-12. What else? Also last Friday in Wilkes-Barre, 5 Hazelton area Cougar wrestlers advanced to the District 2 semis. Jimmy Hoffman, Jake Maurer, Chris Lasecki, Carson Kinney, and Derek Spockman. On the following day, Hoffman and Lasecki struck gold. They're district champs. Maurer, Spockman, and Anthony Martocchio also qualified for a trip to the Northeast Regional Tournament that is being held at Liberty High School in Bethlehem today and tomorrow. Good luck to our local matmen. You know what? When Hazelton plays Abington Heights at anything, I get a queasy feeling. But for some strange reason, this time I like the Cougars' chances. Good luck to them. And finally, my public parting service tip for those many who are still without any water. Go outside and fill as many buckets as you can with snow, then bring them inside. The snow will melt and you will have water to flush in here, not there. Okay, we're not out of the woods yet. Till Monday, be a good sport and stay loose.
Be happy, it's Friday, and go to Bottlenecks for half-price happy hour starting at 6 p.m. They have live music and half-price appetizers.
Hey everyone, here's tonight's social news. A happy 50th birthday goes out to Fran Metz. This wish coming from your mom, brothers, sisters, nieces, and nephews. Happy birthday, Fran. And in memory of Denise Metz White from Mom and Family. That's tonight's social news. FYI News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. William Joseph Emery's of Drums. The funeral will be held Saturday at 11 a.m. at the Firo Funeral Home. A massive Christian burial will be held at the Holy Rosary Church at 11:30. Interment will be at the Calvary Cemetery. Friends may call the funeral home at 5 to 8 p.m. And John Patrick Stam of St. Luke Manor. Services will be announced by the Turnbaugh Funeral Home.
Thank you for watching on this Friday. We'll be back on Monday. Until then, go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/FYI News 13 for breaking news. Take it easy, everyone.